We are talking about the movie Frenzy, and this one is directed by Jose Monteorius, and this one stars Aubrey Reynolds and Gina Vitori. So this one is a sci-fi made-for-TV movie, and this is clearly influenced by movies like 47 Meters Down, The Shallows, and to a degree the Open Water franchise. So sci-fi kind of churn out a lot of these kind of straight to TV movies, and a lot of them are kind of silly nonsense, especially shark films. So this one's an attempt to be a somewhat more kind of like serious and realistic film in the kind of vein of the movies that I've kind of mentioned. And it will seem very familiar when I tell you the plot. So it focuses on a group of YouTubers, I believe. They don't ever say YouTube, but pretty much that's what they mean. And these are guys who go out to various different kind of extreme situations and kind of film stuff. And here they want to go and film some kind of diving at this particular cove. So they rent out this rickety old plane, and a pilot kind of take them to this kind of like this area which is kind of designated as you shouldn't go. For some reason it's never really explained. They turn off the transponder just to kind of obviously for the fact that no one, to add that feature where no one's going to be able to know where they are. But there's no real reason why they did it. It's just a bit silly. Anyway, on the way, the plane that's a bit of a rickety piece of crap ultimately falls apart and crash lands in the ocean, spreading out our passengers in the ocean. And there's 3 hungry great whites that want to chow down. So it's left up to this kind of dwindling group of survivors to see if they can kind of, get out of this situation and kind of defeat these kind of sharks. We have 2 sisters, just like you do in the 47 Meters Down. A bit of manufactured drama as well in there. What do we think of Frenzy? So I appreciate the attempt to make more of a kind of realistic and serious movie from the Sci-Fi Channel to make it a little bit more thrilling. And I prefer these kind of shark movies compared to the Omega Sharks and the Sharknadoes. Those things, I gotta be honest, just simply don't interest me. I just find them all the same, and you're watching the same movie over and over again. So I prefer a little bit of a more of a realistic take with a bit more tension and a kind of a little bit more, you feel a little bit more for the characters because they're kind of realistic a little bit more. So in that respect, this film is a little bit, in my opinion, of an improvement from your regular, sci-fi movie, asylum kind of level, shark type, silly shark movies. I've got to say, the film is relatively well shot. I actually thought they did a decent enough job here of still making making it feel like these guys were kind of out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. There are a few scenes where you can see some kind of land in the background and stuff like that, which doesn't seem that far away, but shh, we won't worry about that. I thought the acting for the most part was all pretty good as well. I thought the cast did a decent enough job here. Some of the dialogue is a little bit hammy, but that's not so much the actor's fault rather than the scriptwriter. But the acting here done a pretty good job. There's actually quite a lot of you do see quite a lot of the sharks. They're not too stingy with showing the sharks. There's plenty of them, and if there's 3 of them, obviously you have multiple encounters. So the shark effects themselves are a mixed bag. There are a couple of shots where, especially when the shark is seen from underwater, and you'll see it kind of swim around, where I feel it actually works. And even there's a couple of shots where you're seeing it eating body parts. I actually thought the CGI was quite good. But transitioning into what doesn't work is when we see the sharks kind of rear their heads out of water, then it kind of falls apart a little bit because the sharks then do look particularly bad CGI. And a couple of things I want to say about these kind of like when the sharks come out of the water. So a couple of things. First thing is that they're kind of like, they stick their heads out and then kind of like, they almost seem to be propelled with their heads sticking out of the water, which is just, it's not physically possible. But in slow-mo as well. It looks really bizarre. So if you can imagine that, a kind of shark sticking its head out of the water and it keeps its head out of the water, then kind of proceeds to kind of like swim forward with its head poking out. It looks stupid. And they kind of do that in slow-mo while the other people are reacting in real time. Again, stupid. And also, how many times can you have a false up where a shark comes out the water and chops down and is narrowly missed? I swear it happens about 10 times. No kidding, about 10 times where someone's, you know, just about to get on a raft or something and a shark comes up and it just misses someone. Honestly, it's about 10 times. It's ridiculous. So that was just kind of silly, I got to say. The manufactured drama, there's a bit of manufactured drama between the sisters that I didn't think needed to be there. That strikes me as something that annoyed me in Kay's Dive, which is the Open Water 3. It just didn't need to be there, and it just seemed manufactured to kind of add that extra kind of like human drama and the kind of the pathos between the kind of the two sisters. The movie seems to have pad out its running time a little bit with these kind of flashbacks to kind of showing you the kind of like how these kind of guys all met. I feel it maybe did that a little bit too much, if I'm completely honest, and it became a little bit annoying. You just kind of want to see the story progress because you kind of get where people are. How these sharks are defeated is a little bit silly, shall we say, without kind of giving anything away. But, you know, this isn't The Shallows, this isn't 47 Meters Down, this is a sci-fi movie made for a fraction of those already low budget movies. So, you know, I guess what do you expect to a certain degree? You know, it's if you like The Shallows and you kind of like the 47 Meters Down a lot, and you just want to see kind of more of the same, but not as good, then this one is one to check out. And I personally feel I actually prefer this a lot more than the recent movie Megalodon that I reviewed, which was just, you know, you barely saw the shark, and then you have all the kind of, like I said, the mega shark and all of this sort of stuff. I'm not interested in those things. So I still kind of enjoyed this film, even though it's certainly a sillier version of 47 Meters Down ultimately and the Shallows. But I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because I actually think there's enough here to enjoy to warrant this saying it's kind of like an average film. There's certainly a lot worse shark movies out there. It's just like a dumber version of the of those movies that I've mentioned. So 5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.